Hi, just wanted to share a quick video with you before we all probably, break for the Christmas holidays. This is a time of year that can be so overstimulating for many of us, but especially for those of us who have the high sensitivity trait. So I thought it might be helpful just to share a few little tips with you that might help ease that overstimulation over the coming days and weeks for you. So, as we said, this overstimulation, this sense of feeling frazzled, feeling overwhelmed, jittery, almost like you're buzzing, but not in a pleasant way. It may come up as anger, you might get irritable, ratty with people, all signs of overstimulation, just a sense of it all getting too much. And this stimulation can come from both external environment, so it can come from what we take in through our senses, so sounds, lights, smells, movement. Again, these are things that will be much heightened at this time of year. Lots of lights, lots of flashing lights, lots of sounds, music, noise, busyness, lots more people, and then there's also that internal stimulation. So it's the stimulation that comes from what we're thinking. So it could be, you're doing extra planning, extra organizing, maybe worrying, have I gotten everything? How will this work out? Will people like these gifts? Will the party be okay? Have I, all this kind of, mind, mental stimulation. And then we have the emotional stimulation as well, such as, it can be positive as well. It can be excitement. It can be a sense of love. And again, if you've got the high sensitivity trait, you're going to feel things very intensely. And again, it's just another form of stimulation, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but just when there's a lot more of it, we can become overstimulated, which is not a very pleasant experience. So it's really important for us to know what our triggers are. So for example, I know for me, a big trigger for me is noise, is sound. So I have to be mindful of, certain environments that I'm in, if they're very noisy or busy or loud, where there's playing loud music. For you, it could be, lights. So maybe certain Christmas lights or flashing lights could be very overstimulating for your nervous system. Perhaps it's certain smells, a certain song that triggers an old memory or a sense of loss. It can be a tough time of year for many of us. So know your triggers. Maybe it's that you're not getting enough sleep. Maybe you haven't been taking care of your physical body, eating enough. It's a time of year we often indulge and eat a lot more yummy foods, but isn't necessarily good for our system. So just know your triggers and try and plan ahead. Then you need to ask, okay, one, what can I change in my outer world or my outer environment? So if you perhaps are at a party or you're visiting somewhere, it's very hot, maybe sit by the window. Maybe it's choosing who you sit beside. Someone who doesn't maybe have a strong perfume or aftershave on, or who doesn't talk very loudly if sound is an issue for you. Or maybe company that you can just kind of maybe relax or be a little bit quieter with. Or just maybe saying, okay, I need to take a break. I need to step out here. I need to go outside and get some fresh air. So knowing what you can do in that external environment that can help soothe your nervous system. And then we can ask, and this is what you have most control over, is what can I do to shift my inner environment, my inner world? So it might be noticing that you've got tightness in your chest, or you're sweating a little bit, or you're feeling a bit restless. That's pure signs that there's adrenaline pumping and you're getting overstimulated. Do some deep belly breaths, so really doing what you can to bring that heart rate right down, doing those belly breaths, tuning into your senses. So noticing, getting that thinking brain back on track and coming out of that fight or flight. Such as, what are 3 blue things I can see, 3 green things I can see, really tuning into what do I hear, what do I see, if you feel you're getting revved up. And then thirdly, what's really, really key and can often be hard at this time of year, but it's really, really important, is keeping the balance. So I always think of it like you've got a tank of water and that's your energy reserve. And this time of year when you're running around, visiting people, and even while these can be very positive experiences, they are draining your reserves nonetheless. So you need to do something that's going to refill that tank, fill it back up. I was just talking to my daughter this week. It's her birthday, and again, it's exciting times. And she had a party, and then there was like a school concert, and then Santa, and there's so many positive and fun and enjoyment and excitement going on. But I was talking to her about how we need to keep the balance. So it's like, okay, after school we got to have some downtime, some chill out time. We need to refill that tank so that we don't become overstimulated, we don't get burnt out. So knowing what your limits are, knowing that if you get tired from, even when you're around good people and having fun, that you're tired, it's finding the time to refill that tank. What is it that nourishes you? Maybe it's alone time, quiet time. Maybe it's walking out in nature. Maybe it's reading a book, journaling, meditating, gentle exercise. Whatever it is that nourishes you, that fills you up, that helps you feel more peaceful, do more of that. Yeah. So almost like a weighing scales or a balance scales, whereas, is it in balance? Is it tipped or not? Am I taking enough in for the amount of energy that I'm sending, or spending or using up? So just a really quick few little tips that might just, help you find the balance and have a peaceful Christmas and try and prevent or minimize that amount of overstimulation at this time of year. Wishing you all a very, very peaceful and magical Christmas. Okay, bye-bye.